Hey my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Willeke, but I also go by Go Wide on all of my socials. And today we are back with another wheel spin cast challenge, and as usual I am using the wheels from Tilsy, so they will be linked down in the description down below. I might sound a little bit stuffed up since I'm really struggling with my hay fever allergy. So if I sound a bit stuffed up or different than usual, I do apologize for that, but hopefully I can still breathe throughout this episode, because I do notice that if I do a lot of voiceovers, I do lose the ability to breathe a bit. Well, we're gonna go through this. So the first wheel that we are going to spin is the body shape. And this will actually, or the body frame, and this will actually decide whether we will have a feminine or a masculine sim. So let's spin. And it's gonna be feminine. So we are gonna make another female. I have done this a few times. And feminine is definitely the one that we've probably done the most. So I would have been excited to also do a male, but we're gonna do female. This will be the skin color. So let's see what kind of skin color we get. Warm light. Okay, so it's been a while. I think I've done warm light mostly as well, but we'll see what we can get. This one is actually the body sliders. So we will have to spin it twice. Once for the muscle size and once for the body fat. So let's first do for the muscle size. It's gonna be 3, 2, 3. It's gonna be 3, so we will have somebody who's a little bit more muscular. And then for the body fat. Ooh. So it's gonna be a muscular sim, but also with a high body fat. That's gonna be very interesting. Then for the body shape, let's see what we can get. It's gonna be rectangular? Yes, a rectangle. So it's gonna be the shoulders, the waist, and the hips are all going to be the same width. Because the rectangular shape is basically looking like a little bit, yeah, like a rectangular actually. So that's also going to be interesting, because I don't usually make rectangular sims actually. Then this is going to be the genetic features. We have to spin this 3 times. So the first genetic feature that we get is big nose, which I think I had previously as well. Then we are going to get as... You can also get nothing actually. We're gonna get... I was about to say, are we gonna get nothing? But we're gonna get freckles. So big nose freckles. And what's the third thing that we're gonna get? It's small lips? It's small lips. So big nose, small lips with a warm light skin tone. That's very interesting. Then for the eyelids, let's see what we're gonna get. It's gonna be hooded eyelids. Okay. So hooded eyelids, they're a little bit more covering the eye. Whereas if you have monolids, you don't see the eyelid. And double lids, basically you have 2 lids. Then for the eye color, I would kind of want to get something unnatural, because I'm in the mood for doing a little bit of fun. Yellow, for me, it's also unnatural. So we are gonna have yellow eyes, which is funny because I'm doing the yellow generation of Not So Berry right now. I just started, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. And we're gonna have a very short hair length. Ooh, exciting. And the hair color, okay, since we have yellow eyes, please, 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 please give me an unnatural hair color. Or we're gonna go full yellow gen with the blonde hair color, which maybe we should do a yellow sim. Let's see, this one is just something extra that they're wearing, so they have a hearing aid. That's basically the distinctive feature, so we need to spin this twice. One is the hearing aid, the other distinctive feature that they're gonna have is... Let's see, if it's hearing aid, it's glasses. It's glasses. Ooh. It's glasses. And then this is going to be the clothing style. I do hope I'm going to get... I'm not going to get something nerdy. Dark Academia is fine if we would get that. Dark Academia. Okay, so I do think Dark Academia with glasses does really suit. So let's head into create a sim, where we are going to create the sim with a feminine frame, a warm light skin tone, then muscle size 3 and body fat 4. Then we are going to have a rectangular shape. We're going to have a big nose, freckles, and small lips. We're gonna have hooded eyelids, yellow eyes, very short hair, blonde hair. We're gonna have a hearing aid and glasses, and then the Dark Academia clothing style. So I hope you lovelies are excited for the results. Let's see what we can create. Alright, so we are in game, and this is the base that we are going to use. The name is Amber Milner. I decided to give this sim the aspiration, the Renaissance sim aspiration, because I do think it's fitting with the Dark Academia, focusing of course on academics. Then I gave the traits bookworm, erratic, and macabre, and I think macabre really fits if you're looking at like the more dark side. So that's it. I do think I love the base already, but we are going to change of course a few things. First of all, starting with, we do have the feminine frame, but we need a warm light skin tone. So for me, I do think it's more in this area. So let's see, I wanted like really more of the red look. So I think this is actually, because it's not going to be very light. For me, it's maybe a little bit more. This is like very light. This is a little bit more light. So I do think, let's see. I think this might be the right skin tone going for, also because we have to keep in mind that our sim will be blonde. Then we have, let's see, up next was the body sliders. So I'm going to put all of them down, and I actually am going to start from the rectangular body shape because it will reset the sliders. So if we go to body shapes, rectangular for me, it's the hips, the shoulders matching the hips and the waist. So if we're gonna check something that actually has this, like this for me has it the most, but we do have to put the shoulders a bit in. And then if we're gonna go down, I would say 1, 2, 3, like 3/4 out of the way, and then 4th is all the way up here. So you don't really see the muscles anymore, but I do think if we tuck in the waist a bit, because now it's a little bit more in line, and I am, since it's muscular, I am going to take away like the body fat over here. So I do think like this is probably the right shape, but if you guys think differently, please let me know in the comments down below. Then we had small lips. So I do have several of the preset lips, but I do think I'm going to pick something from here. Like these are the smallest we can get, which are really, really small. So I do think I'm gonna go one size bigger, and I kind of want like a different shape. Actually, I love this, but we are just going to make like the bottom lip and the top lip a bit smaller, so we have like a nice shape. But I do think like this is really fitting. Then we had a big nose. So this is basically like one of these. This is actually one of the bigger nose sizes, this also. And I do this one, maybe this. I do like this one where we have like a little bottom nose, so I can also put on some skin details matching that. So I'm going to make it just slightly bigger, but we are also going to put like a little bit of custom content skin details on there to match like even more. I do want to pull this out because I want to have like that button nose kind of look. And then the other thing we had, oh, I already forgot. Wait, big lips. Oh, freckles. We had to do freckles. So I'm gonna go into skin details. I am going to do a skin overlay because that's something that I do like, and it also, depending on the one we yet we actually do have like a nice skin detail. But first let me put on some of the freckles. I want to... With light skin, you typically tend to be like a lot more freckly in the summertime. So I do want to have something that also has freckles all over. I do have one by Savage Sim that is actually really nice. Let me see, it's this one. So it's a Savage Sim baby. There's like different overlays, and this also gives freckles on the body, which I do really like. I don't use this often. I should definitely use this more often, but I do think this one is actually really fitting. And then I just want to put on some different... I think the Lottie skin might... Yeah, the Lottie skin might be really fitting this sim. Especially with like the higher body fat. I think like the Lottie skin really adds like the details that you would see in real life as well. So I think that looks really nice. It also has like cellulitis and all those kind of things, which all of us women do have. I have cellulitis as well, but I think this looks really, really nice. Then we do have to do hooded eyes. So hooded eyes for me are like this, where the... I don't think I explained it really well, but where the eyebrow bone covers your eyelids. So they're basically sitting over your eyes like a little bit of a hood. So for me, it would be something where the eyes would be a little bit deeper in and you see a little bit more of the brow bone coming out. So this, I think, and if we just pull in this a little bit more, I do think with the eyebrows just a tap it down. Let's see if we can get like this just a bit more overhanging. There we go. Like for me, this is a little bit more hooded. We do need to change the eyebrow shape because I don't think this is actually fitting, and we do need to change it to something blonde. So let me just adjust this and then something blonde. Typically I go a little bit more for like ash brown or a lighter brown for blonde, because with the blonde swatches sometimes you see it depending on the skin tone, you don't always see it. Actually this one might be nice. Then eye color was yellow, so I don't have... This one could be classified as yellow, but I'm actually going in my face paint category to get the yellow eye color here, because we have a few more options here. We could go fully magic eyes. That could be something. But I do think the more realistic eyes, like this, is something that I typically would use for yellow. One of GoPol's Me eyes, because they're really realistic, but they also look really nice. But the Universe eyes could also work. By Praline Sims, we have these ones, the Dissonance eyes. Do we have any? We do have yellow in here. Ooh, which one am I going for? I have like so many options actually. This is to me a little bit more orangey, more brown. It does have yellow, but to me I would use this for an alien potentially. Let's see, here it's more greenish. Oh, what are we got? This is yellow. These are the eyes by Elf Sai. I'm not sure if these are like the number 15, 16, 18 or 19, because it's the horror ones, but typically they do have a number. These are actually a very nice yellow. So we do have our... I don't think our nose can get much bigger, but we are just going to try to make our nose a little bit bigger. So we have so far the light skin, the hooded eyes, the rectangular shape, the number 4 body fat, number 3 muscles, big lip, big nose, small lips, and the freckles. So we have started already on the blonde hair. It needs to be very short, and also we got the yellow eyes. But I am going to do one thing, because this girl needs some eyelashes to match her eyes. Let's see, these ones typically are one of my favorite ones. I put them on all of my Sims. Probably should do something different for once. These ones I like. I do... Okay, I am going to change the eyes out because they are like, I like them. They're really yellow. but they are creeping me out with how yellow they are. So I'm probably gonna go for something a little bit softer. And I feel that the distance eyes were the better ones, and I'm quickly going to change the eye shape to something that's a little bit smaller, something like that, where they're like trying to look a little bit more interesting and a little bit more like they're really listening to what you're saying. Then we need to go for very short blonde hair. And to me, very short, it's like this would not be very short to me. This would be more like shoulder length, half length. This would already be getting more in. No, I think actually that's also for me like more short. Very short for me. Let's see if we have a good example. This would be very short for me. Like, basically, there's no way you can tie your hair up. It's the model that you have, like the hairstyle you have, that's it. So I am going to look through all of my hairs because there's a lot. For something that I do find fitting, I will basically speed brush this a bit more, speed it up for you, lovely, so you can still see which of the ones I'm considering. But I'm not gonna talk over all of the hairs because typically for me this does take a little while figuring out which hairstyle I actually want to go to. Sometimes I go back through different hairs. So let's see what we end up with. Okay, I think this is the hair. It's a hairstyle by Mood with 3 O's, and typically I like these to use for very short women hairstyles because they're meant to be for men, but you can also use them for women, and I just love how realistic they look. So we got that. Then we have, for distinctive features, we have glasses and a hearing aid. So let's do the hearing aid first. I do have a custom content hearing aid in here, but I do think they are a bit too big for the Sims, so I'm gonna go with the one from the game, and I'm actually gonna do one on both ears. And since it's Dark Academia, we're just gonna do the black shape. I wish we also had a version that's a lot smaller, like they look more like earbuds, so you can also just pretend that your Sim is listening to music. But I do like that we now got like these kind of features in game to also show Sims with a disability. Then for glasses, I want something that looks a little bit more academic. Typically, these are my go-to glasses for those kind of styles. Also this one. This one is basically one. Ooh, I like the one by Suze. Let's see, I do have few ones. I have a few options. This one by Blawberry Pancake is also really nice. You have like the different frames, and I do actually want a darker frame, which this one, that's the sunglass version. This one I actually don't mind it. You also have this one, which I find maybe a bit too big. We could also go for the Harry Potter ones. The ones that look a little bit more like Harry Potter. Actually, I'm with the glass. That's not looking too bad. That's actually, oh, I like this. Then I did look up the style that you need for Dark Academia, because I do want to do it justice. I don't really have my Sims typically dress up in Dark Academia, but essential pieces are blazers, pullovers, tailored trousers. It is a little bit more of an academic style, so you do see sometimes school uniforms, you do see a lot of tweed, you have a base layer like a soft cotton women's shirt or fine wool turtleneck, Then a second layer that is typically a vest or a cardigan, preferably in a contrasting texture. And then you can also have an outer layer, which is a tweed blazer or a long wool coat. So something like this, I would not consider dark academia. This one I would consider more cozy. So I do really have to go look through all of my custom content to see what dark academia. We could also consider this. But I would also look into something that's a little bit more like this. Like for me, this, if you take some of, for sure, a tweed style. So something with like this pattern. And then if we go in here, I do have the option to change the shirt color. Let's see where it is. Not in this one, should it be? Is it in Gloucester? It's not this one. Ah, there we go. So I do have the option to change the color of the shirt. I actually like the brown with it, and you do typically see more leather footwear, something like Oxfords, brogues, or loafers. I will also put like some pictures that I used as reference up on the screen. And then jewelry is typically signet rings, brooches, but we also see scarves, we see dark metal watches, subtle pocket watches, those kind of things that are a little bit more vintage. So I do really like this top. I actually think that from the get-go this immediately already screams dark academia to me. And then we do need like some, either a skirt or some trousers that do fit this vibe. So if we have tweed trousers that are actually matching that outfit, that would be amazing. Like this is a little bit more glam, but if we have something like that's a little bit more darker, it would already be amazing. Not this for sure. Or we could do like a more schoolgirl kind of type skirt, a more business kind of like skirt. Something like this could actually work. Oh, if the tweed would have been matching, that would have been amazing. If we had matching tweed, I think that would have fit a lot. Because this for me, that's a little bit too long. So I'm gonna struggle on like the bottoms instead of like the upperwear. The upperwear for me immediately, and there went my charger for my phone. Bottom wear, not gonna go that easy. Like I don't want to do this. I don't think that's dark academia. I do want to do something that does really fit. So this could be something, but without the belt. Could we do it in the brown? Actually, a brown. Ooh, we have the tweed here. No. I want a color that matches. I would have loved if we had this color like coming back in the pants, but this might work. And then we need some Oxfords or loafers. Do I have custom content Oxfords or loafers? I have no idea. I should have probably maybe downloaded some of fronts in order to have some of the shoes that are actually fitting. Otherwise I would just use some in-game shoes, but I do want to do this with custom content if possible. And I'm not seeing the shoes that we need. We could go for ballet shoes. That works. No, it doesn't, but we can do something like this. Like I know it's not fully dark academia, but it could work. It could work if we're trying this, but I am going to search. I think this would actually work better. This and then... no, not that color. Not those. I was about to say like that could work, but we do need something like probably this that's matching a bit more with the outfit. Like this could work if we can find loafers, which I'm already seeing not gonna happen. I think this might actually be really nice fit. So Let's see. We need a signet ring. I don't think I have a signet ring. I do have a metal watch, but we won't be able to see it with this outfit. So is there anything that I can give instead? Could this work? No, I don't think that could work. We could give it 2. We could make it a werewolf. But I do think something like this also might be nice. Like just a few more... A few rings? No, not those. These ones maybe. Like they're not officially dark academia, but I do think they look nice. And they're messing with our eyebrows. Never mind. They're messing with the eyelashes, so we're gonna get rid of those. And not have anything mesh with our eyebrows. Then, can we get a scarf? Yes, we can get a scarf. We can get a dark scarf. We can get a small scarf. We can get this kind of scarf, which I think is a little bit too small. I want like a big scarf. I actually want like a scarf that's coming down like to where the blazer ends. If I would have had that scarf, I have some custom content that I still want to put in my game where I actually have a scarf like that. So this might need to be like the one that we're actually going for. So I'm gonna do like one final check. We have our feminine frame. We have our rectangular body shape. We have 3 in muscle size, 4 in body fat. We have our big nose, our small lips, and our freckles. Then we have a very short hair, blonde hair. We have hooded eyelids with yellow eyes. Then we have a hearing aid and glasses as a distinctive feature. And then finally, hopefully I did right by it, but a dark academia style. And then if I give our girl tip art lover, we can have some poses. So this is the end result. I hope you lovelies like it. If you do, click the little like button down below. Let me know how I did. I do think I like the look. I might actually give the sim a few more outfits and maybe pop it in one of my series to have like her as a background character. If you like the lady, let me also know in the comments down below. And if you're not subscribed yet and don't want to miss out on either a wholesome or chaotic video, make sure you click the little subscribe button down below as well. And I'll see you lovelies in the next one.